Welcome to Anything But 9 to 5. I'm your host, Emily Boss,
And I'm your Scottish host, Kevin Crowley.
and welcome to another episode. Um, we're going to try to put out an episode at least a month of us talking with each other and one of an interview. So hopefully we can maintain that crazy schedule while I am amping up to do some craft shows in the fall.
She is performing industriously in her crafts. So, Emily, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, today we should really bring up the fact that we have intro music now. You probably heard it in the first episode with Katie, and it's actually been composed by my dear best friend, Yao Bruno Serrero, who from this point on I will only call Booba because that is all I ever call him. And, and I find his name very hard to pronounce.
I'm going to find his name very hard to pronounce in terms of his nickname.
Yeah,
Booba.
well, he's Portuguese, and for my entire time knowing him, which has been 19 years, I've only called him Booba. So it's weird for me to do that. But anyway, if you go to our affiliate links on our website, anythingbut925.com, you can go to, you can check out his SoundCloud to check out some other music that he's composed. And also, he's done a TED Talk. So there's also a link for that as well. So again, that's www.anythingbut925.com, and then just click on the affiliate links. And anyone that we talk to on our podcast, we'll be putting links to their businesses or social media on there as well, with a little blurb about them so that you get an idea of which episode we were talking to this individual in case you want to check out their stuff.
Especially if you're looking for something that maybe they've provided that maybe bespoke and something that you're looking for. So, always good to kind of support these businesses as well. One of the reasons we're doing this as well. But yeah, I checked out his TED Talk, and I was blown away by it. You can just feel the passion in the guy's voice when he's kind of talking about that stuff. It's really impressive. There's TED Talks that you watch sometimes and you think, wow, you couldn't read off a script anymore if you tried, but that you can just feel it in what this guy's talking about, that he feels that down to his very bones. So it's really awesome to get somebody that's got that kind of passion to very kindly kind of give us a theme tune that I bounce away to, even though I've only listened to the first episode with Katie, so that was quite good.
Yeah, Booba is a composer. He went to school for musicology and became a concert pianist in Russia, and then he went to Berkeley to be a music composer. He's quite musically inclined. I cannot play even one instrument, so it's nice to have people like that in your back corner.
Guess how many instruments I went through before I realised I was tone deaf?
Oh no.
7. I became.
What?
I tried every sort of instrument when I was in high school. I was desperate to have some sort of musical talent, but I didn't want to put any time in. Oh!
Yeah, that's a problem.
I just expected, I'm going to pick up this instrument and I'll be like, a star. Unfortunately, I did not realise that, like everything in life, you need to put the effort in.
Yeah, that's not something you can just pick up and go with when it comes to music. There are a few people in this world that can just pick up an instrument and instantly play it, but not all of us have that skill.
Unfortunately, 12-year-old Kevin was not told this. So, go figure. Anyway.
I'd also like to take a moment to thank Megan Pearson. She is a lovely graphic designer who I used to work with, and she helped finesse our logo. So as you can see, it's pretty simple because that was my photoshopping skills, and then she made it wonderful by making it actually be 9 minutes to 5 o'clock on our little clock, and then adding the little crochet hook, and it just looks so much nicer. So thank you, Megan, for being a doll and helping us make a better looking logo.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really. I mean, that's one of the things about the people that have helped us so far, either kind of providing stuff for us or kind of just in the terms of the support. We're desperately kind of trying to put this together because it is something that we want to do and we're really passionate about, Emily and myself. So people who kind of just, even just with their support and kind of telling folk about the podcast or kind of providing stuff is so, we're very, very grateful for it. I know I am. Emily, I don't know, but anyway. Things just fall in Emily's lap, clearly.
Clearly, it's just, I just live in the easy life here. And then I'd like to also bring up the fact that our podcast name was somewhat featured in episode 45 of the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour. If anyone knows me, I am a huge fan of stand-up comedy. Like, it's kind of gross. Like, people are fans of movies and I'm a fan of stand-up comedy. Not to say I'm also not a fan of movies, but I am a huge, ridiculous fan of comedy. And recently I heard Fahim Anwar on the Joe Rogan podcast. I went for a deep dive and started listening to his podcast, and he has something called the mailbag where you can write in questions. So I actually asked him a question about the clarity of his podcast with his co-host, because sometimes they do record across the country. And he casually mentioned our podcast names because I wrote it in the email. Sneaky me. So if anyone wants to check out the Fahim Anwar Dance Hour, episode 45, we're mentioned in there. It's obvious. It's worth a listen to. I love listening to Fahim and Ali talk. So it's just a casual conversation between two people, but that's kind of what we're going for with this episode too.
Yeah. The casual conversation that Emily invaded by name dropping the podcast. I'm so proud. Totally defying social convention. Love it.
I was at work listening to the podcast and I was like, oh, that's my name. And they pronounced my last name right.
Not booze. Emily Booze.
Yeah, for anyone out there, my last name is pronounced Boss, like Hugo Boss, but everyone for some reason pronounce it Bose.
See, with the kind of the Scottish pronunciation of everything, it was by default I pronounced it correctly. It's like Emily Boss. So it worked out quite well, and that's how the friendship grew.
And so that sort of brings up to our next point of trying to get our podcast out there into the nethers. We want to know how to, like, obviously we can read every single article online about social media engagement, but we really want to know how you like to take things in. Would you prefer Facebook heavy stuff, or would you prefer Instagram or Twitter heavy stuff? Mm-hmm. We want to be able to engage with you more, and eventually once we become more comfortable doing these podcasts, we're going to switch to video form, at least for the episodes where it's just Kevin and I. It's a little bit harder with our guests because some of them will be remotely and we don't know the setup, so at least we can do the video when it's just the two of us.
And don't worry, I'll be kind of getting Katie to be my makeup artist so that I look pretty for the podcast when it's on video. Right now it's just this sultry Scottish voice at the moment, but I need to, my face must do the voice justice.
If you actually could see us, you would probably be like, do I have to turn down the brightness on my computer right now? Because we are the whitest and the pastiest people.
I like to think of myself as a human prism. When light hits off me, I reflect. Is it refract? Yeah, it's refract. But yeah. So don't worry, we'll Donald Trump up our tans, and we'll be ready to go.
I can't promise I'll be wearing makeup, but I'll put some lipstick on or something. Just putting that little bit of effort.
Simply the best makeup ever.
So, and also we would be posting those on YouTube as well. So, anywhere that you would like those videos to be posted. Also, right now our podcast is available on our website to stream, but it's also available on Apple iTunes podcasts, on Spotify, and now on Google Play. And if there's another place you would like us to put our podcast, just let us know. It's really quite simple to set it up. So we just have to add an RSS feed to a website, and it's basically accepted right away, except for iTunes. Sorry, Apple, you guys took forever.
It's true. I mean,
They have a huge vetting process, apparently.
yeah, they kind of got, they must have kind of went right into our CIA profiles.
Yeah, they got to do a full background check before. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can get a podcast on iTunes, apparently.
You know, I can just imagine them going through my dossier. Kev Crowley, zero threat.
So if you can let us know where you'd like to hear our podcast, what is most accessible to you, please let us know, because it's no skin off our back adding it into the world of podcasting.
Trust me, we will be throwing ourselves out there. If I thought Carrier Pigeon podcast with cassette tapes on it would work, I'd do that. Sorry for mentioning a dead medium, but anyway.
Let's take a moment to remember cassette tapes.
Press F to give respects. Anyway.
Okay, so we just want to know also to get you engaged as well. So if you can let us know what sort of guests you'd like to hear on the podcast. There are quite a number of different fields we'll be tackling in the next few months once we start going. Kev's going to be recording a lot of his podcasts in September, and then I, due to scheduling and my insane addiction to crocheting things for craft shows, I won't be able to do most of mine until October. But we do have some guests coming up that are pretty interesting. I have a tech reviewer who I used to work with, and now he does tech reviews full time. And then I also have a friend who is a writer for the show The Flash, and we're still trying to hammer out when we can do that because he lives in LA. So again, time difference, and obviously the season's just ramping up now, so it's going to be a little bit. And Kev, what sort of guests do you have coming up?
I've got a few good ones. I have currently, I have someone who's came from the East End of Glasgow who has worked really, really hard, and he's pursued his passion and has now become a clinical psychologist. I think it's a clinical psychologist, a better. Hopefully, I've got that right. And I'm just going to be talking about him because while he works obviously a 9-to-5 job, he has pursued a passion from a very young age to kind of get to where he is now, and I think that's obviously worthy of talking about, talking to. The other one I've got is a person called Peter, and he was ex-armed forces guy who he's not a fan of the 9-to-5 lifestyle, and he's created his own gym in Edinburgh, and he is looking to, I believe, expand that to Glasgow. So I'm going to be talking to him, finding out his story and how, through whatever entrepreneurial spirit he had, he kind of made this happen. So that's just a couple of the people so far, and I'm really looking forward to kind of speaking to them both because they both got totally different stories. But I just want to kind of get into the mindsets of both and how they did that, because I have I have not got the kind of drive that these guys have, clearly.
I know, that's the one thing about having a side hustle. You have to basically accept the fact that you will be busy all the time.
Yeah, very much so. I'm somebody that's always on the go, but I've not got any sort of particular direction, no laser focus. It's just all this energy going, I'll kind of go by and go, oh, I could do that, I'm going to do that, and then, but not thinking about any kind of long-term strategy or anything like that. So, yeah, that's something I'm going to challenge myself to acquire someday.
And that brings us to the next point where we've become so in love with making this podcast. We're only 3 episodes in, and we are already thinking about expanding into new podcasts. Now, Kev and I, we have a problem with the time change. It's 8:50 in the morning here. What time is it there, Kev?
It is 10 to 2 in the afternoon.
So it's 1:50 in the afternoon in Scotland. So it's a little bit hard to get our conversations synced up. So we're also going to be doing our own podcast on the side. Now, mine isn't creating now. We've gotten the bug and are actually considering making other podcasts. So I'm going to start doing a podcast with my friend Janine, who's a stay-at-home mom, and I'm a married childless woman. And we're going to sort of discuss the weird societal comments that we receive for either being a mother of one or not having any children at all, but still being married. So that could be an interesting podcast. It'll also be quite funny because Janine and I have the most ridiculous conversations. She is that person where if you find it offensive, you can still send it to her and know that she'll laugh at it. So she
sounds like my kind of person.
Yeah, she's my kind of girl. So we're hoping to get that podcast going, hopefully in October, November, once things slow down for me craft-wise. And then Kev has also decided to start a podcast of his own.
Yes, it's called Kevin's Endless Search for a Side Hustle.
Because Kevin is very entrepreneurial, but he can't seem to stick to something.
I honestly think I have some sort of kind of ADHD thing going on. Maybe it's not like as severe as more, some people out there, but there's something definitely there. I've definitely got this kind of thing going on. I mean, when it comes to it, I have all these good ideas, but absolutely bugger all follow through. Hence why Emily is the driving force to the podcast. But what I'm trying to do is kind of teach myself a side hustle. And also learn the drive to kind of do something, kind of stick to a plan and follow it to fruition. And at 37 years, that may be something that might be more difficult to break or to acquire. But I'm certainly going to do it. I mean, I've thought of the tagline to the kind of the thing. It's Kevin can't boil an egg. He has no discernible talents at all. But man, is he plucky. Follow Kevin in his search for an honest day's side hustle.
I think it'll be pretty interesting. And hopefully he'll get some ideas from our guests who are following their passions.
Yeah. Either that, at least you can laugh at you can laugh at or kind of gaze into the kind of psyche that I have, because it will be a completely open and honest discussion, which I'm actually dreading now I've said that aloud.
Maybe you should have a sit down with Katie on one of the episodes.
Oh God, if that Katie's my rock, my anchor. Katie's the one that goes, that is a ridiculous idea. Let's rein that in slightly, or let's kind of just master the fundamentals before I go. So we're going to do the podcast, and I'm sure it's going to just lead to TV. I'm going to lead to TV, Katie, and she'll say, no, hold on, just get the podcast running first. Let's do that.
Plus, I think most people would agree that television is almost dead, that it's all streaming services now. Even Disney is jumping on the streaming services.
Okay, that gives me more of a chance because Netflix will give anybody a series. So
that's not true. I've actually heard people not get series on it.
But were they as charming as me, Emily?
True, there's not a lot of Scottish people on there. Maybe we could do like a Jack Whitehall Travels with My Father, but it's just Travels with Kev.
Oh God. Kate, look! There's arms dealers over there. Let's buy arms. No. Kev, rein it in.
You have a daughter. Think of your daughter.
I'm joking, folks. I don't like guns. Anyway, on a more serious topic.
So now, your daughter also has a YouTube channel, so she's got her own little side hustle too. So you like implant things into your to your family's head. They go off with these ideas, and
I'll leave them to go and do something else.
Like, yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to go do something else. So hopefully we'll have Cameron on at some point to talk about her YouTube channel, because she's just the most darling girl.
It's one of those things, and I'm trying not to kind of inject any parental bias, but by God, it's probably going to happen. But one of the things about Cameron is that really just impresses me, especially her age as well, is she puts herself out there and she's confident in what she does. This is, I mean, for me and Emily, this is kind of taking a bit of time and discussion and practice to kind of get in the mental zone of doing that. But I watch Cameron just kind of pick her phone and go, put it on the light and get started. And I'll kind of ask her, I'll say, Cam, so what are you planning on doing? Oh, well, I'm going to do this video and I want to talk about this. And I'm thinking to myself, me and Emily go, right, let's plan this to the, not plan it to the nth degree, but let's get this planned. Whereas Cam's just like, I'm just going to do it and see what happens, which is, makes me proud, but also kind of makes me think, my God, she's better than me already.
She's also a child and she's not aware of all of the haggardness in this world yet. She might be semi-aware, but not as... She knows that she can achieve whatever she wants to. We know that there are roadblocks ahead if we want to make this successful. So she's lucky that she has that free spirit still in her.
Mm-hmm. Society's not bringing her down. Not yet.
Not yet.
I will shield her. She will be as delusional as I.
So hopefully we can have Cam at least on like part of one of our episodes, because she's such a lovely girl to talk to, and she loves to talk to you too.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Just, don't know. It must be the mother, clearly. That's came from. I don't know if that's me. But yeah, she definitely makes me proud every day. But that's the parental bias I was mentioned earlier. But anyway, yes. So Emily, you have mentioned your crafting stuff.
That's right, Kevin. I have two craft shows coming up. They're my first craft shows. I have been hustling for a little while, but I have decided to actually go do some craft shows. So one is going to be the Super Crawl Night Crawl in Hamilton, Ontario. I will be at Absinthe on September 14th, and it runs from 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. Now, Super Crawl runs all day, starting Friday, Saturday, and I believe Sunday, but I'm there for the Saturday only on September 14th. So come and check out my wares, come and say hello, and if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, also let me know, because I will have some cards and I'd like to get in touch with some people out there as well. And then I also have Christmas Palooza, which is being put on by the Nook Cafe from Baden, Ontario, and that's November 17th, which I'm hoping I don't sell out of all my stock from Super Crawl, so that I actually have something left from Christmas Palooza. So we'll see how that goes.
There will also be signed headshots of myself at both kind of events as well, so $5 a pop.
Yeah, Kev's signed headshot is not cheap.
Come on. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Hence why we're doing a podcast for free, but anyway.
It's really just to be able to have an outlet for your passions is what this podcast is. So, to finish off, I'd just like to say thank you again for listening. Thank you for all of the feedback that we've received so far. If you have any guest ideas or any suggestions for the podcast or questions for any of our guests upcoming, which we will post on social media beforehand, you can contact us by going to our website, which is www.anythingbut925, so 925.com, or you can find us on Instagram, which is at anythingbut925, and that's the same on Facebook and Twitter. And then we also have a subreddit on Reddit as well. Is that right?
Yeah, that's still under development. But yeah, that'll be up and running soon. Also, you can contact us via our email. At anythingbut925@gmail.com as well. Just if you'd rather have kind of more direct kind of email. Both Emily and myself have got access to that email box, and so does Katie, our moderator. So any one of us reply, and we would love to speak to anybody. about their passions and what they do either as their 9 to 5 or out with their 9 to 5.
Exactly. And you can also check out our podcast on YouTube. Anythingbut925.
It was very artsy, the photo in the YouTube video. You'll like it.
Yeah, if you can name the weird creature you can sort of see in the corner, points.
I can't.
It's a Disney character that not everyone is familiar with.
Clearly.
There's a whole ride for him at Epcot, I swear.
I've never been to Disney in Florida.
Oh, yeah, they probably don't have it at Euro Disney. Euro Disney came out way after that.
And I was 13 when I went to Euro Disney. So I was in the stage where that was not the coolest. Because I was going through the awkward teen years. So, what?
Being with your family at Euro Disney. Woohoo!
It was raining. I remember it absolutely pouring down. I'm thinking, yep, this is Euro Disney. Quick, the waterlogged parade in 15 minutes.
I guess there's some magic that's missing when it's raining.
Literally, Donald Duck is going to be swimming on the water.
How big is Euro Disney? Like, is it more than one park or is it just the one park?
I think it's just the one park. To be honest with you, I blocked out most of that because it's down to the PTSD that I got from the event. But yeah, it was fun. I haven't.
Family trips, everyone loves.
I remember going on a roller coaster with my Aunt Rosemary, and her. She loves them but screams from the start of the roller coaster to the end of the roller coaster, and it always cracks me up because I keep thinking of that, and I think it was Space Mountain we went on. She shrieked the entire way. It was fun, but that's the only memory I have of that. The rest of it has been kind of flashes of emotion, despair, and horror.
And maybe one day we will figure out what is truly wrong with Kev through little glimpses like that.
When I speak to the clinical psychologist, I'll kind of say, "Can you listen to a few of these excerpts?"
Here, you should just listen to the podcast. That's a good representation of who I truly am.
Kev, I'm getting you sectioned. Well, thanks.
We're going to need a padded room for this one.
20 cc's of whatever the hell you give to horses to knock them out. Anyway. So, other than that, this has been fun.
Thanks for listening again, everyone. And again, any feedback is greatly appreciated because we're still in the newborn stages. We're just sort of making sure we keep this thing alive.
And this is Kevin just ending the podcast by saying, do what you love and love what you do.
We're working on it, folks. We're working on it.
Don't worry, I have a number of cheeseball lines that I'm going to throw at you throughout these episodes. Stay tuned.
I look forward to it. All right, have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.